This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate, and with me is a guy who believes there are two types of people in this world. One who likes Neil Diamond and one who doesn't. Brandon.
And we have each of those people who are members of this podcast.
Me being the one who loves Neil Diamond.
And me being the person that doesn't even really know Neil Diamond.
Ouch.
Wouldn't say I don't like him. I just don't really know Neil Diamond stuff that much.
I love Neil Diamond. I went to his concert once over at Rio Tinto Stadium.
The real one, not the cover Neil Diamond.
I've been to both. I forgot about that we went to Taylorsville Days and saw a Neil Diamond. But I've seen the real deal. It was fantastic.
Would you go again?
I would, but he's not touring anymore. He's done.
Well, I mean, everybody makes a comeback.
It's health issues. He can't do it anymore. So I will just have to do it for him.
Well, we've officially reached the most exciting time of the year to be a Utah.
Why is that?
Because it's everybody's favorite film festival.
It is kind of the festival that put festivals on the map.
It is the premier film festival in the nation. It is the largest one in the nation, in fact.
Did you submit our video yet? Our movie?
We forgot to make it.
Oh, next year. Next year. It's probably a good year to sit this one out, right? Because it's stinking COVID. They're not doing the full-on festival this year.
But we thought it was fitting to do a Sundance Film Festival episode because it's going on right now. And that's the reason it's going on right now.
It's the reason for the season.
Have you ever been to the Sundance Film Festival?
I have not.
I would venture to say the majority of Utahns have not. I feel like this is the thing that's in Utah and Utah's well known for, but no one in Utah actually goes to.
Yeah, which is kind of like, I wondered the percentage of Utahns that have never gone skiing before. Same thing, right? Because I just know like people from out of state or even our cousins who lived out of state growing up and they come to Utah and they would talk about skiing. And my family's like, oh, we've never been. They're like, what? That's like saying you live in California in Anaheim and you've never been to the beach or LA or whatever it may be. So I think
a lot of people don't do the things that are in their own backyard, though.
Yeah. Like I've never been to Kennecott before and I can see it from my backyard. Not really my front yard, but not the backyard.
And have you been to a lot of the national parks here?
I've been to a lot of them.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
we're kind of known. We're kind of known for skiing, and now we're kind of known for the Sundance Film Festival.
And they kind of go hand in hand because the reason they hold it in January as opposed to September when it first started is because of the ski season. They can bring in the tourists and movie stars for the skiing and the sun dancing. Even though sun and skiing don't really go hand in hand.
Then I wonder, as time has gone on, how many of the celebrities actually go skiing.
I'm sure they all do.
I'm sure they do too.
Do you know anyone that's gone though to the Sundance? Because I don't know if I've always wanted to go, and I remember a time in high school a teacher was trying to motivate us to go, but I never did. It's expensive, and it's all the way at Park City at the Sundance Resort.
Well,
So,
it's kind of a Debbie Downer story, if I tell you. I don't know if I should say it, but my cousin was engaged to a fella who went up to Sundance with his friend. And on the way home, they got in a car accident and both passed away
oh,
coming home from Sundance. So whenever I think of Sundance, unfortunately, I think of this tragic crash. But
I feel like we can't really continue on now.
now we just ruined the whole episode.
So I guess that's your experience of knowing somebody that's gone to Sundance, and maybe part of the reason why you don't go,
Because I'm scared.
or just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it really kind of did for a little bit.
I want to share though, nobody in Utah goes to the actual festival and sees the movies, but I know quite a few, including my own family, that have gone up just to try and look at celebrities.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do that. Isn't there like a YouTuber? That's what he's kind of famous for.
Oh, really?
Is kind of
Celebrity
getting,
sightings?
yeah, or getting the celebrities to talk to him.
There's the guy that goes and asks people what they do for a living in their cars.
Yeah, that one's kind of fun and funny. Well, isn't he the same guy that asks people what their net worth is? Have you seen that one? I think it's the same guy,
He
right?
might do the same thing. Yeah, I've seen some where he asks them that.
What's your net worth? And is he the one too that like just goes to big mansions and knocks on the door and says, "What do you do for a living?" It's
Yeah.
probably the same guy. But do you know people would rather talk about their sex life than to talk about their finances?
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Hmm. It's
So
because
which one do you want to talk about, Brandon?
anyway, I would like to go to Sundance someday. It actually is kind of a good year if you want to do it because you don't actually go to it. You just pay the money and can watch the movies, watch the films, which I feel like I'm not artsy enough to care about that. Because a lot of the films they're Sundance films. I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Well, we kind
more
of talked about this
experimental.
a couple weeks ago, right? When you said that I should be have a movie podcast. And I'm like, I'm not artisty. Is that a word? Artisty? That doesn't sound right.
Artistic,
Artistic and
artsy.
artsy. And even lately there's been like I'm really into horror films. I like the scary movies. And I feel like the last few years they've been making these really artsy horror film movies that I'm just like, and then people are like, that was so good. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't think it was that good. Yeah. So
A quick rundown of the formations of the Sundance Film Festival. It was formerly the Utah/US Film Festival, and then it was the US Film and Video Festival. And it started originally in 1978 by John Earl and Sterling Van Wagenen. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. One of them is a director, and one of them is the head of the film committee or something here in Utah. The Sundance Institute, which is the nonprofit founded by Robert Redford, he loves Utah because he was in Billy the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which was filmed here. Which we should do a episode on that.
we should get Robert on.
He used to be my cousin
Yeah.
by marriage.
Not no
That's
more.
not anymore. Got divorced, so not my cousin anymore. He came in 1984, and the Sundance Institute sponsored or put on the film festival, and then it was actually renamed the Sundance Film Festival in 1991. They've got in 2012 they started a London Sundance, and in 2014 they started one in Hong Kong as well.
Really?
They've got three, one of them here in good old Utah, and two international ones. But those
Huh.
two have been completely postponed because of the pandemic the last 2 years.
So I was gonna say, are the same movies shown at all the three festivals, or are they always completely different?
Tell you what, I didn't do any more research other than that.
Shoot.
I know they have a lot of international films or foreign films at the Sundance Film Festival, but I would assume there would be more with it being in China and London.
Well, it does feel like international movies, foreign films are kind of getting a little ground lately, or being becoming more popular than they have in years past. Yeah, and there was even one the other day, a film critic that was talking about movies that just came out, and she was raving about this foreign film that we needed to all go see. She's like, once after the first 5 minutes, you forget that you're reading subtitles the whole time. I'm like, well, if I want to read a book, I'll just go read a book. But maybe it's faster to watch it as a movie form than, because you don't have to do all the
filler.
Yeah.
Did you watch Squid Games?
I haven't watched it yet. No, but didn't they dub that in English? It's not subtitles.
I think so, but I watched it still in the original language.
Yeah, worth it.
I enjoyed it, but that doesn't have to do with the Sundance Film Festival. What does, I will say, so this year runs from January 20th to the 30th, and so you can still be a part of it if you want to. I looked on the website just to get an idea of if I wanted to purchase a package. The first package is a festival package, $750 for that. It is the most popular way to experience the festival and offers 10 tickets to online feature film screenings during the entire festival, along with early access to ticket selection. But that is sold out. The Salt Lake City package is available to Utah residents. I think it's the same as the festival package, but because you're a resident, you get it for cheaper. But that one's also sold out, and that was $400. So quite a big discount if you are a resident. You got the award winners package, which is $300. It gives you 8 award-winning feature films during awards weekend. And then there's just single film tickets you can get for $20, a day package for $100. That comes with 4 screenings, and then a $50 Explorer Pass, which gives you specific ones you can see. So some of those are still available if you want to still participate in the festival. I've seen a lot of social media about movies that are in it, and a lot of buzz about it, but and tell you what, I'm going to just wait until the important ones get their awards and then just
Streaming somewhere
available
for free
to us
on Prime Video or Netflix or whatever, maybe. Yeah, I know is it the Broadway Theater downtown that does the Sundance in Salt Lake? So I used to work on the same street, actually really still close nearby, but it's when I drive by and I see all these random weird movie titles, because they do a lot of independent films there. You're just like,
I'm
okay. I'll stick to my mainstream stuff and let the other people figure out which one of those are good and which ones I should see.
Maybe we can get into the artsy stuff when we become filmmakers ourselves next year. We got a lot. We're planning a lot of things. We're gonna get into music, writing some songs, films. We're setting ourselves up.
We're just gonna be a full blower. I guess you'd call it artist, right? Just pure artist.
Why not?
In the sense of the entertainment industry goes,
and usually people do all those things first and then create a podcast. We're kind of doing it in the reverse order. We're doing a podcast and then we're gonna jump into the movies and everything else.
We're going to be trailblazers in that aspect. Well, I was just going to say, I know a lot of people, going back to the fact that they do it during ski season, is they showed on the news how a lot of people had already booked their hotels and all that good stuff to come out here, but a lot of them weren't too upset. They're like, we're just going to go ski anyways. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing, that they at least have something to do rather than going to a place where there's nothing to do.
Unlike the Adele concerts.
Yeah, can you believe that? Like, she canceled like the day before.
People were on the flight to Vegas and got the cancellation news.
Did you hear about, there's a girl who went to London, I believe, to see one of her concerts, and Adele canceled the day before, so she was there. And then she same thing, the Vegas thing, and she canceled again. So she went like on TikTok or something and was kind of complaining, and Adele's team saw it, and Adele FaceTimed the girl personally to apologize and said, "Hey, when I do my next concert, I'll fly you back out for free and you can come on stage with
And
me."
that's a good consolation.
But it's just funny that she's tried twice, that she's never seen her before, and both times she's canceled on her. But can you imagine though? Yeah, booking, especially some of those seats were 35 grand a piece or something.
35 grand.
And then booking, yeah, they were expensive. Maybe 3,500. I don't know. We'll just go with 35
That's a lot of
grand, 'cause
money.
that sounds better. That sounds better. They were really expensive tickets, and then people who had those tickets probably had really expensive hotels and all that good stuff. And then
Yeah, you're not getting a $35,000 seat and then going to the Days Inn.
I would,
You
but
would.
these people probably
That's
won't.
true. Well, speaking of controversy, the film festival hasn't been without controversy. There was a 2009 film, The Official Rejection, documented the experience of small filmmakers trying to get into various festivals in the late 2000s, including Sundance. The film contains several arguments that Sundance has become dominated by large studios and sponsoring corporations. Contrast was made between the 1990s, in which non-famous filmmakers with tiny budget films could get distribution deals from studios like Miramax or New Line Cinema, but they argued that now it's gotten so big, even though it's the Sundance Film Festival and it's more low scale, it's
Independent,
really not.
yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I feel like since Sundance has really kind of become popular, that you'll see a lot of A and B list actors will go do these independent films. A lot of them say it's because it's them trying to get practice doing a different type of acting that they're not used to. But yeah, it's just interesting to see the big name stars in these quote unquote low budget films.
Going into some Sundance movies we know, there has been a lot of good stuff that has come out of Sundance. So I found a list of the 15 biggest Sundance movies. You want to hear?
Oh, awesome. People love
People
lists.
love
Let's
lists,
go.
especially when we just go through lists here on the show. They couldn't find themselves.
Yeah. Well, you can't Google stuff when you're driving.
No,
So
no.
you can listen to our podcast while you're driving and get your list.
You're welcome. Number 15, A Walk in the Woods. Yeah, I didn't know that one either.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different movie. Okay.
Number 14. This one I actually really like, and when we were talking before, you said you hadn't seen it. So go to Hulu, watch this movie, 500 Days of Summer.
I've started to watch it probably 10 times, and I only get about 10 minutes in and then get distracted or
Really?
whatever. But
Why?
I don't know. What do they call that type of movie? It's not a musical. It's like they call it operetta or whatever, where they sing what they're doing. Or is that
No,
not it?
no. You must be thinking of a
No,
different movie.
no, that's the one they sing in it, right? No, which one am I thinking of then? Anyways,
Well, so 500 Days of Summer, it has Zoe Deschanel and Joseph
yeah,
Gordon-Levitt. There's
yeah.
no singing.
They don't sing. They dance.
There's one dance sequence.
Okay.
Get through it because it's really good. I think it's a really interesting story and the way they lay it out.
Well, it's fun. Yeah, because I mean, outside of it being from Sundance, everybody raves about it. So I'm like, it's one that's been on my list to watch forever, and I just never do.
All right, well,
But now I'm going
you
to.
should.
Now I will.
Maddie and I watched it the other night. So next we got In the Bedroom.
I feel like it. Wait, no, I've heard of it.
I haven't heard of that one. But there you go again. We don't have one called in the Excel sheets because people would rather talk about the bedroom.
Yes, much easier.
And then you got Brooklyn, another one I hadn't heard of.
99, Brooklyn
Not
99.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Got The Big Sick, which I've heard of, but I know nothing about.
The Big Sick. Wait, The Big Sick. Did it say what it's about?
Let's see. We could be skipping over these movies that are big time movies, and people are screaming at us in their cars right now. Like, how do you not know what this movie is?
Oh
It's
wait.
got that guy from
Oh, the Big
Eternals.
Sick. Yes, I've seen that
Is it
twice.
good?
It's about his. It's a true story about him, and he actually tried to get, if I remember correctly, he tried to get his actual wife to come on and play his wife, and she wouldn't do it. So he had to get what's her name to do it. I saw it on an airplane, and I thought it was really good. I made my wife watch it, but she didn't think it was as good. But
Hmm.
kind of a fun one. It's about him. Like, he's a comedian, so it's about him. It's a true story about him, how he met his wife. So worth it, in my opinion.
I'll have to check that one out.
I knew it.
It's got good reviews. Next, we got,
Yeah.
I think you hinted at this one earlier, Hereditary.
Is that the one made here in
Mhm.
Utah? Yeah. Like, I remember when we were at the movie theater and I'm looking at the Home Depot they're at, I think it was, and I'm like, wait, that looks like the Home Depot up in Summit County. And I'm like, it is. So
I've had this one on my list because I've heard from multiple people how horrendous it is and how scary it is, but I've never got around to it. I feel like there's certain scary movies that are just too weird.
it's got Alex Wolf, Millie Shapiro, Tony Collette. To be honest with you, I don't even remember what it's about. But I just remember thinking, nope, no, thank
Yeah, it
you.
looks weird, but we're gonna have to do it because it's filmed in Utah. We're gonna have to talk about it. Talk about that Home Depot in Summit County. But this next one on the list, I think you enjoy. Napoleon Dynamite.
What number does that fall?
I don't have the numbers. I'm just going down the list.
Oh, okay. I'm like, didn't know if they were ranked from best to worst or just 15
Yeah, just
movies.
15 movies, but
So I'm like, well, how does that not the number
it
one?
is the number one in my book.
Yeah. That's when I started caring about Sundance. It's like, oh,
That's when I
wait,
started caring about
this came.
movies.
Yeah. Did you see Napoleon in theaters?
I did not. I saw it
Oh,
in my sixth grade classroom. Everybody had seen it except for me. I don't know why I hadn't got around to it, but then we watched it and I was hooked.
yeah. We went. I think we were fairly newlyweds, so we weren't, no kids. But anyways, I remember going to the movie theater because everyone's like talking about you had to see this movie, Napoleon Dynamite. And we went over to Jordan Landing, the Cinemark over there, and we sit down, and this kid like leans over and he's like, "Oh, have you seen this before?" And we're like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, this was like my third time. You're in for a treat." He's just like so excited for us, like, "Oh, they're watching it for the first time."
And you didn't believe him until
And
you finished the movie, and then you realized.
no, to be honest with you, we watched the movie and we're like, "Was for
Oh,
real?
really?
Like, that's it?" Yeah, you're just like, really? That's what the hype's all about? And then when you go home and start replaying everything in your head, it's one of those movies that just gets funnier and funnier, where the quotes from it just, to be honest with you, I felt the same way about Nacho Libre.
Oh,
Like, I was like,
same maker, Jared Hess.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same guy, same writer, but I remember Nacho Libre the first time, like, yeah, that's okay. But now, like, I watch Nacho Libre like once every 6 months. Like, I just watched it again the other day. My kids came in like, "What the crap are you watching?" And I'm like, "It's so quotable." Like the
And
uh,
Napoleon, both of them.
and Napoleon. My kids like Napoleon, and they'll watch that. So they're the ones that turn on Napoleon once or twice a year, and then I'm the one who turns on Nacho Libre. But both are
I see a
classics.
Napoleon episode in our future. It's some of it. I think part of it filmed in Utah, mostly Idaho, but it's close enough.
Yeah, we
We'll
have
we'll
to
do that
do
eventually.
Napoleon. Yeah, once Jared Hess comes on the podcast, we'll do it.
Next up, you got this is probably your favorite on the list, Precious.
Oh, is that the bigger
Yeah,
girl story? I didn't know that was a Sundance
I
film.
neither. I've never seen it.
Me neither.
It looks scary to me. Looks like it's really sad.
Oh,
Like not a scary movie. It's just I know that it's gonna be really sad. So
just the word precious. What does it make you think of? It always makes me think of Lord of the Rings. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
precious.
Yeah, not. I don't think it's that kind of movie.
No,
Then you got Manchester by the Sea, which was didn't it win Best Picture?
I feel like it
That
did.
one with Casey Affleck.
Who was the star? Yeah, I think you're right. Or he won Best Actor or something. It won an
It
award.
won awards, yeah. And then there you go again. This is a Sundance movie that won probably Sundance and then went on to win Best Picture.
Oscars.
Oscars, exactly. Okay, next on the list we've got Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Really? Never seen it, but that's a pretty.
It's a household name. This one was a surprising one. Saw.
That's a Sundance film. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that. That's one that I don't like gore. I don't know if I would
Yeah,
handle that one very well.
I watched the first two Saw movies about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago,
Are they
for
pretty
the first
bad?
time. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then I saw the new one that Chris Rock kind of, what do they call it when it's not a remake and it's not a sequel? It's funny because in the new Scream movie, they kind of make fun of this, like, oh, kind of they're talking about the movie. I didn't know that Saw was part of Sundance. Go figure. But I don't know how many Saw movies have there been since.
A lot. I don't think they go to Sundance anymore. I think they
No.
hold their own.
Yeah.
Then we got the Butterfly Effect.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was that
Ashton
Ashton
Kutcher.
Kutcher?
Yeah, I remember that.
Have you seen that one?
Butterfly Effect. Yeah, I saw it when it first came out in the theaters or whatever. But how long has that been? 20 years.
It's probably it's like a trippy movie, right?
If I remember, I can't remember much about it, but I believe they make like a TV show or another movie. I don't know. They did something else with it, but
Then we got Little Miss Sunshine.
oh yeah, with Steve Carell and the girl from Zombieland when she was younger. Wasn't that kind of like the movie that really Abigail Breslin? Yeah, she's a Little Miss Sunshine. But I think that's the movie that kind of put her on the map. She was in Signs, right? That was kind of like her breakout role, but Little Miss Sunshine really put her on the map.
Is Steve Carell in this movie? Oh,
I
he
thought he
is.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen this one for a long time, but I think I remember really liking it.
I don't think I've ever seen that one either. It's like that movie and the 500 Days of Summer. Those are like the two movies I keep thinking I need to, like, everyone talks about being really good. And I just need to see them.
Yeah,
And then I sit down on a Saturday or Friday night to watch a movie and I'm like, what do I watch? I don't know what to watch.
Karate Kid.
But then I forget, like, after that, I should have watched that one or this one.
I do the same thing. Next up, we have another horror. Actually, the next two are horror movies, so it tells you Sundance is a good place for horror. Got the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah.
No surprise there. That's a Sundance.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely, number one, genius, and two, low budget and independent.
We could have made that.
Wasn't that at the time like the highest grossing low budget film of all? Anyways,
Like the ratio.
Yeah, the ratio of how much they make compared to how much they cost to make.
So I did find a couple of honorable mentions I wanted to throw in, and then I'm gonna make you guess what the number one on the list was.
Okay.
So Garden State.
Oh, that's with
Zach Braff.
Yeah.
Got Reservoir Dogs.
Never seen it, but know what it
Quentin
is.
Tarantino. He actually got his start basically through Sundance.
Huh.
Got Heathers, Man on Wire, American Psycho,
Really? Is that with Christian Bale? Wow.
and then Memento, which is another one that's on my list. I keep wanting to watch, but that's a thinking movie I really need to pay attention to. Okay, now guess what the number one Sundance movie is, at least per this list. I did tell you it's a horror.
It's a horror movie? It's a horror movie. How long ago?
Between the last 4 years? 3 or 4 years?
Really? Is it Get Out?
Yep, that's the one.
That makes sense.
And I really liked Get Out. Maybe that goes into the category of the kind of more different artsy horror movies, but I really liked that one.
No, that one worked though. That was really good.
It was really different.
What was his other one he did like the year after that?
Us?
Us.
Yeah.
That was good
I
too.
like that one too.
The ending kind of like was a little different, but that was really good.
Jordan Peele, I think he does a really good job with horror movies.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how these comedians are really good with horror movies.
The reason they're so funny is because they're so messed up inside.
Yeah. Well, the thing I like about it, him doing, he throws a little bit of comedy into the movies that makes it funny. So
Well, there you have it. Lots of Sundance movies, a lot of good ones that we enjoy
and need to see.
and need to see. Lots that are on our lists. You always hear about the lists. Oh, the Sundance movie from 2020, whatever. And they go on our list and we don't watch them. We need to be better about that.
I guess.
Maybe someday we should go actually to the Sundance Festival.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Your treat.
My treat.
We could see one movie. $20 isn't that bad. We just would have to make sure it's a really good one. Don't want to waste our money.
That's the question. Is there a way to know which ones are the good ones? Do you wait till like a week in and then hear what the buzz is all about?
Because they don't have awards until this weekend.
But is that kind of like, like a fad or something cool to do is to go like you do is go watch all these small venues for concerts to say that, I saw them first before they were popular. Is that the same deal with movies? Like, oh, I saw this first before anybody knew it was good.
Maybe that's the appeal of it.
But how many bad movies or concerts do you have to sit through before you find that band or movie that's worth bragging about? That you heard of them first now? How do you afford your rock and roll lifestyle?
You know what? I think I'm going to stick to the mainstream stuff. It's cheaper and easier. You don't have to guess. You can just read what Rotten Tomatoes said, see what the critics said, see what the audience says, and you're good.
That's true. For the most part. Back in the day when we go watch, when we go get a red box, yeah. And sometimes they're completely wrong for your own taste, but that was kind of our requirement back when we would go rent a red box when there was nothing to watch. And there was, say, like a low budget film is to, if the Rotten Tomato score or whatever was 60% plus, then we're like, okay, it's got to be bearable, at least watchable. But sometimes they're really, sometimes you're like, yeah, that was definitely, there's a reason it has like a 20% Rotten Tomatoes. It's really bad. Which brings up the question again. I'm confident I've said this before, but do they not read scripts before they make movies? Like, don't you have to go through a process and be like, no, this is not a good idea?
You would think. Well, let us know what your favorite Sundance movie is, and also if we're completely off base and you actually do go to the Sundance Film Festival, and we're the weird ones not forking out $750.
Right.
And if you have been and you know what that secret awesome movie is, let us know so we can also see it and say we were one of the first to know that it was a special movie.
We saw it before it was released in all the theaters.
I saw it before it streamed.
There you go. Yeah. Next year, because next year COVID's going to be gone, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be
for sure. Catch us at our booth at the Sundance Film Festival next year, 2022.
Yeah, if you need a DJ or a MC for your
people aren't going to be there looking for
or events.
A-list celebrities. They're going to be looking for us.
What list are we? The D list?
I don't even know if we're on the D list.
Yeah. What alphabet letter?
F,
how far can we go? The FU list.
But either way, thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
See you next week.